And good morning. We are live. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast here. Today, we're going to talk about hiring, firing, human resources, the whole shebang. It's not an easy thing. That's why some people they do it for a living. I mean, people work solely on human resources and hiring. So now hiring's always been a difficult process, uh, especially for our company. I own a painting company, which is interior and exterior painting. Ryan Amato Painting. You can see it up in the corner. It's always been hard to find people. You try to find the best skill set for the job, but you end up bringing on people with bad habits from other companies. You end up, what's the saying? One apple can ruin the bunch. That's true. If you have a small team and you have one person come in who's just doesn't match your values and your vision, they can certainly eat up the spirit of your team. So one thing that definitely changed for us before we get into the issues now of a pandemic is making sure that we're hiring for values. So what are values? Values are the things that you live by every day. When you go to the gas station and you put gas in your car, do you leave your car there and go in the store? Or do you pull up into a parking spot and allow somebody else to go in? That's a value. It might be right or wrong, whatever your opinion is on that. Do you hold the door for somebody? Do you look behind you when you're going into the store to make sure you don't close the door on somebody? That's a value, thinking about other people first. Our values are accountability, dependability, and relationships. And I'll explain them a little bit right now. But first, here is...
Hey, this is Dwyer Brown. I played John Kinsella in the movie Field of Dreams, and you're watching the Amato Podcast. Hey, guys. Want to have a catch?
Awesome. I get to interview a lot of cool people, so that's one of them. Accountability is a buzzword that you hear all the time now, and actually we might even switch up our that one value. But accountability is simply being accountable for the actions that you take and the things that happen due to them. So if you're a job leader and you're in charge of a job and you tell your painters that are below you or apprentices or trainees to lock the door at the end of the day and they don't do it, guess whose fault it is? It's your fault, job leader. You're fully accountable, 100% accountability. So that's tough for some people. You work with people. When stuff hits the fan, what's everybody do? They start pointing the fingers at everybody that they can possibly point fingers at. They will blame somebody else. So it's super important to know if your company runs by extreme accountability, that's how you run it. But you have to let everybody know that's how you do things, because they're going to blame other people. Dependability is in our industry is key. Can you just imagine if we have an interior paint job that's starting today and we need 2 people there because it's only a 1-day job for 2 people, but only one of them shows up and the other person doesn't call, you don't know where he's at. It now extends that 1-day job to 2 days. It messes up tomorrow's schedule because we were supposed to start another job tomorrow. And now you're scrambling trying to find out, where did this person go? And this stuff happens. This is real world stuff. So let's not kid ourselves thinking that everything is perfect every day and everybody shows up to work. It just doesn't happen. Some people just don't care. So accountability, dependability, and relationships are important to us. Relationships, when I go to the store, I live in my area. I see people we work for. I see people we don't work for. I see people who didn't like us. I see people who love us. So it's super important to develop relationships for me, because otherwise, why are we doing this? It's not money motivated for me. Although, you look behind me, I like little collectibles and things like that, but that's not why I do this. I'm half the time I don't take a paycheck, but that's my own fault. We have to create relationships. That's what we have. When you look back, I can think about all the great relationships we've developed through work. So that's why we're hiring for the values. They have to have the values that your company has. If not, you can't take what's the saying, a round peg and put it in a square hole. It doesn't work. It might work for a little bit, but then eventually it's going to come back and bite you. So we recently hired somebody, and I giggle because the staff gets all excited when things like this happen, but they've happened countless times before. And, no matter how much time you spend interviewing, no matter how many personality tests you do, no matter how much time, how much detail you go into your interview with a person, and you feel great about them, they can still fail, unfortunately. So what I like to do is interview them quick, get a good feeling for somebody, make sure they have the same values, and just hire them at that point or let them go at that point. So spending all this time going through an interview process that takes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in our industry is way too slow. And that's how I live with all my other tasks as well. So super important to make sure that that's how you're hiring. And we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, folks. Ed Hearn, 86 World Series New York Mets. And you're watching the Amato Podcast.
Thank you, Ed Hearn. So what has recently happened? We hired somebody to be in our office, and you can insert any name because this has happened many times. Referral from somebody who works here. So they're bearing now some burden because they feel that they referred them, gave them an opportunity. It's been about a week, and we've had not contact for 3 days, just zero contact. So, our trusty manager has faith in people and figures that, something must be going on, and they're gonna contact us. But guys, it's not happening. If somebody doesn't contact you for a full day, first we want to make sure nothing's wrong with them, because we can't keep we don't want them in an injury, we don't want an accident, we don't want to have anything like that. But at the end of the day, we still have business to do. So once we find out that they're healthy and safe, why haven't you called us or done your work? I mean, at that point, you have totally deviated from the rules of the company and the values of the company. So it's time to move on. So like I said, you can't spend too much time. You're not gonna bring somebody around who doesn't have the values that your company does. So super important, hire for values. If you don't know what your values are, just go on Google and Google values, and a whole bunch of keywords will come up. Sit down with yourself first and pick the most important ones to you. What are the most important values to you, your company? And then you have to cascade them downward to the rest of your company. You have to share them all the time. We print them and put them up on the wall. We used to have them in our old office everywhere. We put them on our shirts. We put them on our anything we print, we put them on. We want everybody to see what they are. Do we live by them all the time? We try to, but sometimes it doesn't happen. We all make mistakes. So that's my little tip for this morning. We're not going to stay on here too long, but again, super important to make sure you have values. Do you have a vision for your company? We can talk about that another time. If you don't have a vision for your own company, what do you think the people that work with you think? Or are they just going out and doing whatever they possibly want? So that's it. I think next time we're going to have a lot of questions. I have a lot of frequently asked questions that people are just asking all the time. So I would like to get into those, and we'll go from there. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.